name is Ruckus. Thanks for joining. Please like, subscribe, and share. 10-8. All right. How's everybody doing? See, we got the winch. Says, hey, cuz. Oh, good to see you, cuz. Night Shadow, hello. Just Deb. Miss Persevere, how are you, dear? Coach Kev. That was a great video today. Let's see what else we got. Grace, we got 4 pits. What's going on, 4 pits? And I-43, Pammy, good to see you. You don't get to catch many lives. Renee and Bobby. Most of you guys know LA, and most of you guys, if you've been around my channel at all, you know who Silky is. What we're going to talk about today is these high-risk special need inmates that we've all had to deal with. Hybrid, how are you? Polygraph, J-Dub. And these people, when you arrest somebody and they're injured or they're hurt or they're claiming that they are or they're so drunk, you have to take them to the hospital and sit on them, right, LA?
Yeah, hospital detail.
Yeah. And so I've been on both sides of that fence. Hey, Danger Dave, how are you? CJK, how are you? I've been on both sides of the fence. I've turned people away that are injured. And
I wish we did.
Nobody likes that. Well, do you work right in booking, or do they call you down there if they need something? Hi, Beth.
They call me down there because we have 3 floors, and our office is on the 3rd floor, which is where main jail is. But we have an annex building, and then we have booking. But we hold people in booking. Our ISO cells, a lot of them are down there. So I'm in booking quite a bit.
Hey, James, how are you? Lake Michigan, hello. GP, Miss Thang. I feel like I'm on Romper Room when I'm doing this. It's so funny. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
If she said your name, you lost your mind. Hey, Betsy. Grizz, what's up, brother? Man, it seems like everybody's got an intro or an outro by Grizz. Hi, Jill. Bossy, what's going on? Betsy. Tattoo you. Purdue IN. All right, we get some good mods in the house, so I feel comfortable now. And Frank Meister, what's up? Now, what would happen in state when I worked at death row, and then that to be honest, that got boring. You know, what's good wrestler, Willow Rain, because they're locked down. You know, that's where I learned how to eat sunflower seeds. Being a Yankee boy, the rednecks taught me how to throw a handful in my mouth and eat them that way and spit the seeds out, the shells.
Okay.
But you know, so I've dealt with CM, close management, hospital units. Hey, Mayo, how are you? And so I've seen how these people get treated, and I see how good the medical staff is. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Jinx. Now, if booking is not on the 3rd floor, I wouldn't imagine.
No, it's on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Or it's actually kind of in the basement floor, really.
Yeah, the Sallyport area. They open a garage door and they pull down in there. So you probably get alerted by the booking deputy if there's an injury or if there's an inmate that you need to take a look at, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, either sometimes before they get there, they'll radio me and say, hey, you know, we've got one coming in. The deputies are bringing somebody who's combative, who's been injured, whatever. And so I meet them at the Sallyport.
Yeah. When they're combative, we would all look at each other and say, glove up. That meant we had,
oh, yeah.
We had some problems. But I had a good enough reputation for being a deputy that, you know, a lot of the people that were problems already knew me. You know, so I'd go out there and they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, yo.
Yeah, you would have been one of the ones I threatened. Don't you come back in here. We're full.
Yeah.
Leave them out there.
Yeah, exactly. But it's amazing. The ones that are a problem on the way to the jail, most of them are recidivative. They've been there before. So they know when they get to the jail that we ain't playing there. So they
Mm-hmm.
behave once they get to the jail. So, but some of
I don't
these,
know.
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know what this kind of facility, and I'll just say, you'll know what I'm saying, Ruckus. We're a hands-on facility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. No, I
it's
understand.
interesting.
I understand. Yeah, that's called escort techniques.
Hmm.
You know what that is, don't you? LA.
Oh yeah,
And sometimes they just need to be escorted to the floor.
well, that's a fact.
Yes.
Placed.
Hmm.
You can't write.
Softly.
You threw them down. You
No,
tackled
you
them
got to
down.
place them softly.
Place them, and you don't grab nobody. You grasp. I
Yeah.
grasped his wrist.
And I don't think people, unless you work in that environment, you do not understand sometimes why people do what they do. I mean, it can literally be a matter of life and death just getting them in booking behind a door.
You're absolutely right. Hi, Stefa. You are absolutely right. I've seen things go sideways with somebody who's being compliant, and
Yeah.
then they just realize that they don't
Snap.
want to be compliant anymore.
Yeah, they can
Mm-hmm.
snap quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Michelle. Yeah, well, now, I mean, I retired in '08, and I spent over 10 years in booking, and there was one camera, one in the main booking area.
Wow.
So
Wow.
now they're everywhere, and audio and all that kind of stuff. So after an incident, a use of force or something like that, we would have to go up to central control and watch the playback on the camera to make sure that we wrote it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to tell you, when you, especially when it's a big old country boy, and you get him settled in, you know, and then you start, man, you see that he took a swing and I dodged, and then I threw him a 2-piece, and yeah, but then you go watch the video and it's this.
That's a yeah. It
Yeah.
don't look as sexy as you thought it did in your mind.
At all, man. At all. It's funny. We used to. One guy had a tape that he kept up in the central control room of the Three Stooges theme music, and whenever we went up to watch that stuff, he played that. It was
That
pretty
is
funny
funny.
stuff.
That is
I
funny as
have a
hell.
whole jail playlist on my phone.
Hey, Camilla. Hey, Boo. Hey. Now, when you get somebody that comes in, so they don't turn people away when they arrest somebody that's injured. You guys take them. I mean, do you stitch them up and all that? You have a doctor on staff?
No, we honestly, we may send them to the hospital if they come in that way. We may send them to ER for a quick stitch up, and then they're right back to us.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken them in all kind of situations where medical is begging, please come on, this is a walk-in train wreck.
Mm.
They need to OR bond out, but most of the time we deal with it because the jail. Let me just put it this way: our county jail. I think we just had a $15 million refurbish. Okay, we were remodeled, and that is only so we can build a brand new jail on the same lot because they want to start housing feds also. And that's going to be a lot more millions. So these people got to be, the way they're looking at it, we've got to have these people in here. You got to
Mm.
convince them we need this new jail.
Yeah,
It
we
is
got
what it
Mr.
is.
Mr. Steve's in. Hey, Steve, how are you? I'm sure everybody's familiar with Mr. Steve and his channel. It's a great channel. And Coach Kev, actually, I should have had you on here as well. He deals with these same kind of people during fires.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Love Coach Kev. We did a live. Well, I think you came in it for a little while. We did a live a few days ago. He was a great guest.
Yeah, Coach Kev's awesome. He's awesome.
Kissing his ass. Do y'all take people with diabetes in the jails? Because here in
Oh
Philly, if
yeah.
they diabetic and their sugar is
God,
too high, too low, they'll turn them motherfuckers away.
no.
It was to the point where I tried to have one of them sugar testing machines in my goddamn car. Because if a person lies and say they diabetic, they automatically got to go to the hospital, even if they lying.
well, once they
Oh my
know,
God.
Once
Yeah,
they know what to say, and it just stalls the inevitable. They're still
yeah.
going
And
to
you tell
jail.
them, man, you tell
Yeah.
them.
Hey
It's
Todd.
a
No,
pain
we
in the
take
ass.
them. I've got a ton of diabetics. I wish they would boot them out because it's hard, and then you have to have the special treatment, the special snacks, and then if for some reason medical is not there, then the officers have to know how to check their sugar. So it
Hmm.
is what it is. But yeah, we've got diabetics everywhere.
Yeah,
We
how
don't,
long
like I
does it
said,
Okay.
take? We used to have to go if we were slow in booking, which is hardly never, but
yeah,
we would go around with the nursing staff because they have to actually open the door. They wouldn't do the finger sticks through the food chute. They'd have to open the
Mm.
door. So one of us had to be with them, and it's
hmm
like, geez, it's almost as bad as hospital duty, sitting on an inmate in the
hmm
hospital, because it just takes time, and it really eats up a lot of your time, the nursing staff.
it
And
does.
it's crazy how many people have diabetes in the jail. It's
Now
crazy.
we sitting on them in the hospital, right? Next, they get into that room. That motherfucker start getting comfortable, asking for the remote for the TV. I don't like this. I don't like this
Yeah,
movie. Can we change it? You're like, you son of a bitch. You don't sit your stupid ass there. You got me in this goddamn hospital. My shift was over 3 hours ago because of your dumb ass. I'm sitting here.
Now
And then,
our policy was that they had to be cuffed and shackled to the bed
oh,
if
that's
they
a fact.
went to the
Yeah.
hospital. So if they were okay with me, I'd ask them
Yeah,
if
you
they're
hook them up.
right-handed or left-handed, and if they're left-handed, I'd shackle their right hand to the bed, and vice versa. But if they're being an asshole, I'll shackle their good hand to the bed, and they'll have to fumble around with
They
their
don't
other
want them
hand.
leg. They don't want them leg cuffs on there because they gotta get up and go to the bathroom, and that shit takes forever. It's
Yeah,
ways you play with them, but I never had problems like that. Only once in a while, and then they always call for the goddamn mama, like because they not allowed to use the phone. Here they allowed to call their lawyer and their mother and father, and they always want to call their mom. And prisoners sometimes they try to take advantage. You give them an inch, they'll take a damn mile. It
yeah.
never fails. Like people don't realize you give a prisoner an inch, they always take a mile. Like you tell them they can
yeah,
make one phone call. Next, they call their aunts, their uncles. They got the person who they went to go sell drugs to. I'm gonna be late. Like,
Everybody.
damn, dude, everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they're worried about their damn dogs too.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh
Beach
my
Fair,
goodness.
you out
I'm
here
a,
drunked up, driving around, selling drugs. Now all of a sudden you need somebody to take care of your dogs. You gotta make a phone call.
I'm
You
gonna
know.
call my lawyer because I'm gonna sue you. What's his name? Well, I ain't get a lawyer yet. Exactly.
Exactly.
hmm
I got one on retainer. How many times you heard that? I got a
Oh
lawyer
my.
on retainer. Okay, well, who is
All right.
he?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
All
all of
right.
them. I think all of them tried to sue me.
And Steve. You and Steve
Yeah.
try to get me sued now. That's why I
What,
stay away from y'all.
dude? You need to come to Indiana with us.
I'd rather ride through Africa, take a detour through Mexico, and hitchhike to China before I go to Indiana. I told y'all that.
Dude,
Same, LA,
we
same.
we need some bait. What up,
That's a
Sleuth?
fact.
What's up,
Yeah,
brother?
Camilla. I was working patrol, but I also worked the cell room for years, and then I worked the body cam room. That was my last thing working body cam. That was always
Yeah.
fun because that was in a deep, dark basement, and you get to look at everybody else's videos and judge them.
I bet you couldn't wait to see the ones from Kensington.
No, no. See, it was in West Philly, so you could look them up, but I had central access to everybody. But usually, you stick to your own districts. There's so many of them. But if you got downtime, you go look at other people's stuff.
Hmm. Now, your isolation cells are in booking, Silky.
Some of them. Well, actually, our true isolation, we have two on the second floor, but the rest of them are what are just in the block behind the door. They don't come out. But our medical isolation and we have one that's really psych. I mean, it's literally a padded room with cameras. Those are all down in booking. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we had. I mean, we had isolation cells, but that was mostly to separate people. But we'd have 80, 90 people in a cell that was like 20 by 20. It was
Yeah.
crazy, crazy. If we got busloads in, the Batmobiles out doing DUI checkpoints. It was nuts.
Giving
Yeah.
them that cheese sandwich. You have to feed them cheese sandwiches.
No, they fed him pretty good, to be honest with you.
No, not here.
It,
Well, here it got better. Before they was getting them cheese sandwiches and low ass waters. But
Mm.
the city started contracting to these vendors who was using the good stuff. So I used to go and start stealing the sandwiches. I said, God damn, y'all got the good turkey? How the fuck they get it? I can't even get the goddamn good turkey. I'll go in there and start eating the sandwiches myself and drinking up all their water. God
No,
damn
we
it.
had a really good kitchen at this facility. But that's another thing too with diabetics. Silky, do they get snacks if they're diabetic?
Yes, they don't get special meals, but they do get snacks, but only the ones that are insulin dependent. The other
Mm,
ones, buy it from the commissary. And of course, if they're having an episode, we'll treat them, but they don't have one ordered. I mean, our kitchen is pretty good. Depends on, it's all run by the trustees, so it depends on who's a trustee at the moment and how well they can cook. But I really don't have a whole lot of complaints. I could tell you some stories, but I can't do it on camera. But
You can on my
just
show.
because I still
yeah.
work there.
Hey Fig, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. It was a great interview today, by the way. Yeah, once they get hip to that religious meals and diabetic snacks and all that, everybody's a Muslim that comes through that door.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Rednecks, straight rednecks. Now they're Muslim. They got to get
yeah.
special meals, and they don't eat no swine and all this. But once
Now
they
see,
find
we
out
don't. Go ahead.
if the alternate meal is nasty, well, all of a sudden they'll break a rule. It's crazy. Well, you see it all the time. You,
Silky,
you
you
know,
would go in there, eat up all the snacks, eat up all the graham crackers, because that's my thing. I go in there and start eating up all the graham crackers. They getting on my goddamn face, getting on my nerves.
you
I
put
go
some
right
butter
there.
on it.
Oh, eat up all the graham crackers, and the animal
Yeah.
crackers. I'll take a handful. I'll take a handful and shake them up and throw them in my mouth.
Yeah.
Motherfucker,
No,
you got on my goddamn nerves today.
no, I actually we're pretty good as far as that goes. If I want something, our trustees are constantly baking cookies, cakes, all
Mm,
kind of stuff, and I just call down to the kitchen and I'm like,
mm,
hey, or I'm walking through there because the kitchen's right off booking, and I'm like, ooh, what are y'all cooking? I want some of that. So I mean, I don't have any complaints about that, but it sounds like, Ruckus, that where y'all, and maybe LA where y'all are, it was way more tough. We have the only special, we don't, okay, first of all, we don't really have special meals. Okay, we don't care
mm.
what religion you are, we don't care if you're diabetic, you get
Yeah.
what you get. The only thing that we do is if you have a true documented food allergy, like to beans or onions or tomatoes, whatever, they
Peanuts.
won't put, yeah, they won't put that on your plate. Now, you're not going to get something else in place of it. You might get a little bit more of whatever, the else they're fixing. But yeah, we don't play that. We don't play that. You're Muslim. I'm sorry. We're going to say, don't eat it.
Hmm.
Don't eat it.
Now, do they have staff dining as well? Separate. It works off the same kitchen, but it's a separate area. Oh no! See, we did.
No, no.
We did. Hi,
Actually,
Mustang.
the trustees will just bring us stuff and styrofoam. I usually go out for lunch, honestly, or bring my stuff in because uh
Don't
you
trust
know
it.
I try to
Yeah.
stay out of the kitchen, but that's because I'm medical. And when I go down to the kitchen for any reason, they're like, oh, can I have a Tylenol? I need this. Oh, I got a headache, I've got a toothache. I'm like, oh my god, let me just sneak out the door.
They used to let the pod deputies pass out Tylenol, right? So the nurses didn't have to get called every
Wow.
time. And I was up in the control room at one of the pods. It sits up in the top and it
Hmm.
overlooks the pods. And down
Right.
below it is the vestibule. Well, I heard this deputy says, roll open my pod. So he rolled up with the pod. And he just yells in there, last call for crack and all. They're lined up. They eat that stuff like it's crack. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
funny as hell.
Yeah, and they're very creative with some of the recipes they make from their commissary too. And sometimes I'm like, that doesn't look half bad. Uh,
Mm. Yeah,
you
the
know,
soups, and they crush up the
yeah,
Cheetos and put it in their soups.
exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's smelling pretty good.
Yeah, I used to hate working the pods, but if it was overtime and I want to do it, I'd do it. But if you see them playing cards, right? Gambling's illegal. And, I know what playing cards look like. And I'm not stupid. When the playing cards are ripped into four pieces and they're passed, those are chips. you know.
Ah,
So
yeah.
instead of, you just can't win. I tell them, why don't you just put it on paper? I'm just here for a little bit. Just write it down on a piece of paper. And if they gave me any shit about it, I'd go find out whose cell is holding the bank, because you got to give 2 soups or a Snickers to get into the game to start with. And
Oh wow.
I'd
Yeah.
grab some soups and Snickers and give them to the old guys that didn't have any money for commissary.
Well, I guess we're a little more slack there. They play cards all day, all night, and we know they're gambling. So we know, Wednesdays, and I work every single Wednesday. That's store day. And you know that as soon as stores passed out, give it an hour or two, and if they don't pay up, that's when all the fights happen, all the stitches, all the craziness. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, you knew this was going to happen. You can't gamble and owe somebody, 3 packs of ramen noodles and not pay. Like, what did you think?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a different world.
yeah. But Dell, absolutely. And hey, Kishti, what's going on, brother? Same thing. When I worked state and the county. Now our jail held just over 1,200 inmates. But and I know you've both seen this. They'd be all in the day room up against the wall on those blue boat beds.
Hmm.
So way overpopulated. There'd be 3 people in 2-man cells, and plus people sleeping in the day room.
Yeah.
And whenever, because the book, and we had to do all the paperwork for the advisories in the morning and stuff like that. And if we were really stuffed to the gills in the intake pod, we'd send a little message to the judge and tell him, hey, anybody that you can ROR, please do it,
Oh
because
wow.
this is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they get arrested. We book them in LA and do all the paperwork. We process them, fingerprint them, photograph them, shower them, all that. Put them on the phones. Then we bring them down to the housing unit. Well, the first thing in the morning, the classification people would go into that intake housing unit and talk to these people, call them over, because it was direct supervision. It wasn't linear. You're just in there with the inmates, the deputies, the
Hmm.
nurses, and all that. But they'd have to go in and classify him, because you can't put this guy that's in there for his first DUI, if he's not getting out right away. You don't want to put him in a pod with the felons.
Hmm.
They're going to take advantage of them, or there's going to be problems. And then if they
Yeah.
already have, if they've been there a bunch of times and they have a bunch of enemies, you got to make sure that they're not going in the same area where their enemies are. It's
Right.
crazy. It's crazy. It's hard to keep up with all that. The classification folks, you have classification at your jail as well, Silky?
I mean, we do, yes. All of our pedophiles, that kind of sort, go in. They always go into A block in main jail. But I know what you're saying. You have your stuff to the gills, and then you want to put somebody in a block, and they're like, "Oh, I can't go in there. This guy I owe money to. Like, they're gonna kill me. You can't." So
Hmm.
you find out they've got enemies in literally every block. So then they have to go behind a door in ISO somewhere. You
Mm-hmm.
really need that room for somebody else who probably needs it more, but they are literally going to die if you put them in the wrong block. So
Sure.
yeah, that's why we end up with people, which you would call a vestibule. In main jail, we call that place, because we've got 3 blocks up there, they're pretty big blocks, and we call that the bullpen. But our vestibule really shouldn't, it's supposed to be a day room, but you have people on boats everywhere. You're stepping over people at times because there's literally nowhere else to put anybody. You
Yeah.
open that door for pill call, and it's like, oh, the stench, oh my god, y'all stink. you know
Yeah. Yeah. Beach Ferry. I never worked. I dealt with females in the jail, but I never worked with females in the prison system. There was no females at the prisons that I worked at. But
Lucky
yeah,
you.
they're pretty. Yeah, if they said, "Hey, there's overtime. Do you want to, do 4 hours? Where's it at? It's down in 500. That's the female pod. Nope,
Yeah.
I'm out." Because even my fat, ugly ass, I walk around to do a security check, and this is the middle of the night. All of a sudden, they all have to pee. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And pull their pants down. I'd announce it. Male in the pod, real loud, and I wouldn't stay in there because they were locked down for the night. But Yeah, it's crazy and nasty. The women's bathroom and shower is nasty.
Disgusting, right?
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
women are nasty. I could not. I think that was the most surprising thing to me about when I started working in the jail is how nasty these women are. It's like you think as a female you have a little bit more pride in yourself, but oh, they are the worst, the whiniest, the neediest.
Oh
It's
yeah.
I'd take twice as many men over that one, pod of women, and there's probably about 60 something of those in there. I'm like, gosh,
And they all get
they're
together
awful.
and sing Christmas carols around the holidays. I could hear it from all the way down the Booking Hill. It's like, man, why do they put up with that? Why? I mean, what are you going to do? But it's like you were just saying, if these people have problems with other inmates, detainees, convicts, whatever you want to call them, we used to call that checking in. They'd
Mm.
say, "Oh, I'm having a problem with this guy, that guy, that guy," so we'd put them in protective custody. Well,
Mm,
in Noe's case, you know who Noe is?
yeah.
All right, he actually did have problems with people, so that's why he ended up in the PC area of the jail that he was in. That's how he got to meet Kagan Klein. He
Oh,
wasn't.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was there basically for ad seg. They were segregating him because, and this is what he told me. He said, I was one of the very few Mexican guys in that area, and I said, well, say no more. I understand. I understand. They want to try you, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why he ended up in PC. Now it's not a bad gig as long as everybody knows that you're not in there for that reason. That
Right.
you're not in there for CSAM and stuff like that. But checking in, these guys that just they don't even give it a try when they get to prison. They immediately check in. They say, I have a problem with this and this and this, or I have all these medical issues. They start that as soon as you take them out of the back seat of the cruiser. They start with their medical issues.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what aggravates me so much, Ruckus, is these people. Okay, I'm not saying that they don't have high blood pressure or they don't have this or that condition, but they've been out here on the streets ripping and running for 6 months doing, substances. I don't want to get any, strikes, but doing the drugs and of all kinds, and they haven't been to the doctor in God knows how long, but they come in and all of a sudden, oh, I've got a heart condition. I'm
Deficiency.
supposed to
Yeah.
be on this. I'm supposed to be on that. Like, you didn't care when you were out, shooting up, or you didn't care when you were, out doing this.
Right. And
So
when's the last time
now
you've been to
it's
your doctor? Never.
right. Yeah. 2 years ago. Oh, I was just there. It's just been a couple months. And you call the doctor's office, because that's what we do, and the
Hmm.
pharmacy, and well, they were there in 2019. But now all of a sudden your blood pressure and your irregular heart rate has nothing to do with the meth you've been using. It has to do with, oh, you're in jail and we're not treating you fairly. I'm going to sue you. Which
Hmm.
I told the last day I worked, I looked at a guy and I said, make sure you spell my name right when you sue me, okay?
Yeah.
Because like there's no way this is going to hold up. You clearly are not taking care of yourself, and I'm trying, but you're being a horse's rear end.
I don't know how. I have nothing but respect for the nursing staff. There was men and women, and
Mm-hmm.
they had people because they had a nursing. It's called a nursing station, but it was a secured area. You had to be
Mm-hmm.
buzzed in there because that's where all the inmate charts were and all that, and
Yeah.
so you have to keep that under wraps. But there was a couple guys and girls that just inputted. They would call the doctors and fax things and receive fax and file things, so the nurses didn't have to do all that stuff. Because man, we used to tease them. Lower Main Street is what we used to call it. It was a quarter of a mile long. And I used to tell the nurses, why don't you get some rollerblades? It was nice, clean tile. Get some rollerblades, cut some ATV or something, golf cart, maybe.
Wow. Yeah, we're not that far. Our office is just down the hall from the bullpen in main jail. So, but we are, if we choose to lock both doors, we are behind two steel and concrete barriers.
Hmm.
Most of the time, it's not like they're out running around. So it's we don't usually keep those doors locked. Now, when I worked night shift, there were a couple of times that they were trying to riot all 3 blocks at one time, and I thought they're going to come through that glass. They are gonna. So I'm like
Yeah.
bolting both doors. Okay, we ain't playing this.
Hey, Deb, any of you guys that haven't subscribed to Deb's True Crime Notebook, go give her a look. Go subscribe. She's fantastic. We need to get her subscribers up. But yeah, it's amazing that they're able to. They don't like each other. They can't be housed together, but yet they can come together to do a synchronized riot. Yeah. We had a cert team, and anybody that was tall and big was on that cert team. They dress up like, it wasn't nice like it is now. They looked like they were football players. They didn't have a zapping shield and all that. And whoever was in front was the catch dog. They called him the catch dog. You went in first, and shit starts flying. Mm-hmm. Now, do you know what Boodarooing is? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It might be a Florida term. It's disgusting. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. But these inmates, and usually it's the psych inmates or the ones that are playing psych, they will defecate and urinate and put it into a milk carton and leave it in the hottest area of their room for as long as they can. And then when a guard or a nurse goes by, they rip it open and throw it at them. That's called being boodarooed. And I'll tell you what, I've seen some really nice nurses and some really nice deputies, really good people, want to kill somebody when they get boodarooed.
I will say this. That doesn't happen. Not that it couldn't ever. Usually it would be a psych patient. Like I said, we're hands-on jail. People don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been stabbed with a pencil,
I just don't.
Toothbrush. You name it.
Yeah, I don't, there are times of course, we're in the South, and my COs are amazing. They are amazing people. I love them so much. And, you don't even come up to the nurse without a shirt on. If you come up talking smack or whatever, you will regret it at some point, So we don't really have that problem. Everybody, if there's a kind of a code of respect, and if somebody, usually it only takes the officer a few words to say enough, go on, go back to your cell, whatever. And the only time we really have problems is if someone comes in and they're detoxing, or they're still high and they are out of their heads, or they're mental. We have a couple of mental people that, and I don't even blame them. We didn't call, what did you say, Boodaroo? This guy just made milkshakes, but he wasn't doing it for anybody. Like, he was just so out there. He really, and we'd watch him on the camera, and it'd be like, why? Nobody else is enjoying this, but he was just gone mentally.
Hi, Andy. Yeah. So, and this is, the area where they keep those kind of folks, the guys that are coming back from prison for court and stuff like that, they're felons. They bang and yell and cause all kinds of problems, and there's nothing you can do. They're already in the worst part of lockdown that they can be. They're in CM. They're in confinement. So there's nothing you can do to them, really, except for, take things away from them, commissary, stuff like that, take their their phone calls, all of that. You can do all of that. But they're already locked down, so what do they care? So for when they're saying, oh, Richard Allen, they're yelling at him, telling him to kill himself, and of course they are. If it wasn't him, they'd be doing it to somebody else. They do it to each other all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing that you can do. They cover up their lights in their cell, so we'd leave it so they couldn't turn the lights on. They could control all that from the control room. And everything's monitored. Do you have intercom systems in each cell where they can push a button if they're having a problem and it goes to a control room?
Yes.
Well, that's constantly monitored, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
they're listening to Richard Allen, and he's also being videoed as well. Not all cells have video in them, but his obviously does. He's under safe keep
Yeah,
orders.
if you're under unaliving, self unaliving, then you are on camera. But our people, see, when they come back from prison for whatever reason that we house them until they go back, they, unless it is a Richard Allen situation or something, they go in Gen Pop, and if they are a problem, they go in a turtle suit behind a door.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Phil.
And that's just, so they're not really that big of a problem. And usually I have found that it really only takes a turtle suit and some isolation to make you understand that. And I'll tell them, this ain't prison, honey. You're at the county jail, and this is the way we do it. You're not getting any narcotics here. I don't care what you were taking there. You're not getting them here.
Mm-hmm.
You're at the county jail.
And they can't
If you don't
smoke.
like, yeah,
They can't
yeah.
smoke.
So
They lose their minds because they can't smoke. Hey, Boston Christian.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they
Hmm.
do.
it's crazy. But those areas of the jail and the prisons um, for lockdown, I totally understand why they put Richard Allen there. If they moved him, which I
Oh
don't
yeah.
care if they do, they can move him. I don't care. But he's going to be in the same exact situation. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Hello, Joe.
They're going to be in the same situation, the same size cell, and with the same rules, same guidelines. They just don't have the staff to take care of everybody, and give
Hmm.
him the attention that he needs. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to shave it off, Joe. It's too hot. I'm trying to
Oh,
cover my
gee.
liver spots so LA doesn't make fun of me.
What kind of special attention does he need?
Well, he has to be monitored, obviously video monitored 24/7. That's why they were videotaping him when he was with his attorney, which is a no-no. But I'm sure that Keep Safe said that he needs to be under video surveillance 24/7. So
They
I
couldn't have
think
had
that they
audio.
just, yeah, I think that they right. But you can read
Yeah.
lips. You know what I mean? You can zoom in
Hmm.
on notes, so I can see the defense's problem with that. But they'll have to figure something else out. There's just if the judge says that they want him on video 24/7, they're going to find a way to do it. They'll find a way.
Yeah.
But you look at
Um.
all the bullshit too. These lawyers said that he's not getting his paperwork. We gave him paperwork and he's not getting it. Well, now we find out that he's eating it.
Hmm. That
He's got
did
his
not
hands on it.
surprise me.
Yeah.
Didn't surprise me at all. I've seen them eat paper, eat
Mm,
anything, when they're in that state of, I don't know. Some people are psychotic. Some people are very mentally ill. Some people are doing it on purpose,
Yeah,
because they
manipulative.
think they're going to go to the hospital. If I stuff my, esophagus with paper, I'm going to the hospital. Yeah, maybe temporarily for an hour, they're sending you right back. You're not
mm,
staying.
mm.
And we're going to try to get it out before you're there. And then you go in a turtle suit. And it is for protection. But that's the thing. I don't, Ruckus, if you worked in prison, then I think that you have more. Uh Now I'm not saying that Westville, they could very well be mistreating him there, but in general, you have more doctors, medical care, you
Mm.
have more perks.
Programs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
than you do in
Yeah.
the county jail. The county jail, it ain't a fun place to be.
Mm. No, it's not meant to be. But it's
No,
not someplace where you should be mistreated either.
no.
But I understand what his attorneys are trying to do, and they're being effective. They're doing a good job. But he is not being mistreated. He's fine. He's lost the weight over stress. He's stressing. They're feeding him. You've seen it. They go around and pass chow out at the same time every day. You know, so
The only
he's eating.
Yeah. The only thing I would say about that, Ruckus, is sometimes if he is truly having a psychotic episode or he's on the wrong medication or whatever, he may not be eating. Yes, he could be losing weight in jail. I see more people put on weight, but I mean,
Hmm.
look at Keegan Klein. Um, but like what you were saying, people can say stuff like, he could be hypothetically, because I don't know.
Mm.
People could be drilling into his head all the time, we know you're guilty, tell us how you did it, whatever. I mean, there are variables,
I'm sure.
you know.
I'm sure, and I'm sure there's both staff and other inmates that are doing it. I've
Yeah.
seen. I've seen it. I've seen
Oh
it.
yeah.
I couldn't be bothered with any of that. You know, it's what can be proven in law. That's right. Joe's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely right. Right now, facts don't matter anymore. It's all about sleight of hand, smoke and mirrors, theatrics. I've said it before. Look at the OJ case and the Casey Anthony case. It's whose attorney can present things better. You only have to convince one person.
That's a fact. That's
That's
what I tell
true.
people. Yeah, they
You
don't
know,
realize that.
yeah. See, that's why they got to make sure they have their shit together when they make mistakes. And I know this is a cliche, but law enforcement, they're people too. They make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not perfect. Some of them are badge heavy. Me and LA have talked about this a lot. They're badge heavy. They think that they're impervious, and that that badge gives them permission to do whatever they want. And they have the authority and all that. Not just the fact alone. In the county I worked in, they wouldn't even hire you until you like 21, 22. They wanted you to have life experience.
Right.
Because how's a 21-year-old kid going to stand out in front of a trailer during a domestic and trying to tell these people that have been married for 40 years, you know, a
Yeah.
little snot-nosed kid type thing. So,
Right.
they want you to have life experience before they give you, that power, because that same kid, 21 years old, can do something that the president of the United States can't do. He can take your freedom
Take a
from you.
life. Yeah. They used to be 19 here, but I think they moved up to 21. I got on at 06 and it was 19. We had guys directly out of high school going straight to the police department,
Wow.
which was crazy. Man, they couldn't
Wow.
drink, but they
Yeah.
could carry a gun.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah.
take people's, that's why here, they want you to be, they call it life experience. But it's we've all seen it. You get a new person that comes to work at the jail, Silky, either in medical or corrections or what have you. And man, that person's sharp. I'm so glad they're
Mm-hmm.
here, and they're gone in a month.
Yeah.
And you get somebody that comes in, you're like, oh, this person's an idiot. They're never gonna. Next, they're a sergeant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't really judge these people. The jail is a whole different animal. You have to adapt,
Mm-hmm.
especially in your career field. Um,
Yeah.
you really don't have to have bedside manners anymore. You don't
Mm-mm.
have to. You don't have to be like
Yeah.
that, but you have to be crafty. You have to learn how to deal with these folks. How many times they're faking, they're bullshitting you.
Oh
You know,
yeah, the fakey shakies.
how do you get around that? I learned a trick when I worked at state. There was an inmate, and he wore a helmet and everything. He was a little skinny black guy, and we used to call him Crash because he wore a helmet. Well, he would get seizures, but
Mm-hmm.
he would fake them as well. So
Right.
he was having a seizure, and the ambulance came, and the EMT in the ambulance was pissed off because he knew that he's like, Crash, listen, man, this has got to stop. We're the only ambulance in this area that's on duty right now. The other two, if somebody needs us and we're dealing with your stupid ass, and he just keeps faking it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy took his middle finger and thumped him on the eyeball. he let
Wow.
out he let out a holler, and they turned that ambulance right back around, brought him back, said you can put him in your medical unit here. He's not having a seizure. So I learned that little trick. I didn't thump them, but I'd give them a tap on their eye if they're sitting there and booking or whatever.
They wake up. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, if they flinch, they're not having a real seizure.
Right. Well, I mean, we have some, and I think the hardest part is when you have somebody who does have a history of real seizures, but they like to fake it because they like to get the whole block worked up if you don't send them out, and then you've got all this problem going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we do a very hard sternal rub, or take, a sharp object, run it up the bottom of their feet, because and you're not trying to hurt them, but you cannot, if you're in a true seizure, you will not respond to either
Mm-hmm.
one. We ammonia pop them,
Mm-hmm.
you won't respond. So some of those people that start involuntarily coming out, and they're like, you're like, no, No, sweetheart, that is not a real seizure. Like
Yeah.
you're seizing, you cannot do anything. So, we don't send ours out for seizures. It would have to be extreme because what you going to do?
Mm.
Usually, our seizure patients already are on seizure medicine. And so, probably when they came in detoxing and they haven't taken it in 3 or 4 months anyway. Are they going to seize? Yeah, it's not built up in your system because you've been out doing drugs instead of
Hmm.
taking your medicine.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we
Just
know
let me
it's going to
thank Phil
happen.
real quick here. Phil gave a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Phil.
Yay.
That was very nice of you. I
Good for you.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy. The medical issues that you deal with, not only with psych patients, there's people that have some honest to goodness medical issues. We had a whole medical
mhm.
wing, and they built built onto it before I left. That was like it was like a Y at first. The nurse's station was in the middle, and it was a Y. Well, then they put a third. We called it the chicken foot, and each one had cells on each side of the hallway. It was lineal supervision, but some of those cells were for people who were contagious, had contagious things,
Yeah,
and so nobody liked working up there at all,
yeah.
at all.
Well, we do that screening when they come in. We ask them, "Are you Hep C? Hepatitis of any kind, and or HIV positive?" A lot of them admit that they are, but I assume everybody is because, like you said, Ruckus, they're almost always repeat offenders. They get
Hmm.
out, a month later, they're right back in.
Yep.
So, you have that they spend more time in the jail than outside of it. And, they got the jailhouse tattoos and
Hmm.
they're sharing
The teardrop.
stuff with each
That damn
other,
teardrop get on my nerves.
Yeah, they're killers. They're gangsters, right?
Yeah.
Now, we used to have to do the medical screening, and if there was a problem, if we would call a nurse to come down and look at
Hmm.
them. But we would have to ask questions, and
Right.
so one of us would be
Mhm.
patting them down and asking them questions while the other one's typing on the computer. So I used to have a blast with it, especially with the people who were buzzed. It would be like, hey, have you ever had or do you have a contagious or a communicable disease such as AIDS, hepatitis, or VD? That's it. And if they said no, I would
Wow.
say shin splint, scurvy, hair lip, beriberi, fungalupitis. And they're like,
Yeah.
fungalupitis? What the hell is that? Oh, if you didn't have it now, you'll have it when you leave.
Oh man, that sounds very similar to something RCOs say. Yeah, but you're right. They do the initial, and then once they do that initial screening on the booking sheet, we get a copy of the booking sheet, but we do it in depth. But we don't. It's like they're in there. Well, I've got Hep C. What are you going to do about nothing, sweetheart? We
Mm.
we don't. This is the county jail. This ain't a medical clinic. If you want to treat your Hep C, do it when you get out. Okay.
I was surprised. Oh, I got another super sticker from Alice, 1999. Thank you, Alice, so much. That was very nice of you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you can buy that liver spot cream now.
Yeah, I need some. I can shave my beard now. Cover up them liver spots. Somebody said that I needed to take. I think it was Yo-Yo. That I need to take my liver pills to make my liver stuff spots go away. That's not how it works. I'm Irish. It is what it is. But you get these folks that come in that have no medical issues, but they have to be isolated, and
Yes.
that's the situation that Richard Allen is in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Got another super chat from Joe. Thank
So
you, Joe. Thank you very much. $20. You're the man. I appreciate it. I'm glad to see you in here. It's the first time I've seen you in one of my lives.
you got Phil to give you another one too.
I didn't get
I
down there yet.
love Joe. Love Crime Night.
We actually talked on the phone the other day, which is hard to do because he's in Australia.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're like on the opposite. It's like 14-hour difference or something like that. Yeah, we talked a little bit. We didn't talk for very long, but he's prior military. I'm prior military. We just chatted a little bit about this whole YouTube drama crap and stuff like that. Yeah, there we go. There's Phil. Thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate it. With a $9.99 super sticker.
Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Don't worry
Get
about
rid
it.
of,
Listen, don't
get
worry
rid of
about what
that.
I'm doing. Worry about what
Get
you're
rid,
doing.
That was gay. Get rid of that. We don't ever need to hear that again. Don't ever do that again. That was
D-
terrible.
d-
Yeah, don't ever do that again.
okay. Guess what I'm going to do next one now?
The same one?
Oh, over and over. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to keep hitting that drum roll. How you like that?
Take that $10 back.
Yeah, go ahead. Come get it. Come get it.
I just found the biggest trailer in Florida, and I know that's yours. The numbers will be inside.
Inside
So that's
the
how I know
house.
it's
Yeah.
inside the house. I just look
But
for
it's
the
easy.
address
Just pressure
inside.
wash the inside, too. You pressure wash the inside. It's like having a Jeep. Yeah,
That's
it's
a
nice.
fact.
Yeah.
So LA, I don't know much about, like, I know we're in a Discord together, but where are you at geographically?
Philadelphia.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
So you're up there close to where Ruckus was.
I was in
No,
Boston.
Ruckus is in Boston. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, this is the South. Anything above Tennessee, that's northern country. You're up there on that side of the coast. You know,
The
you're
Mason-Dixon
on the East Coast up
line.
there. Y'all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Pennsylvania, and I was in
Okay.
Massachusetts. So it's not that far. It's not that
gosh,
far
I
at all.
love Massachusetts.
You can keep it. I grew up in the projects. You can keep it.
Oh well,
When the last time
I've
you been to
only
Massachusetts? When the last time you been?
2016, I think. And I went up to say goodbye to everybody. My mom comes from a big family, 15 kids, and my dad comes from a big family. And they're all Irish, so everybody's dropping like flies up there. You know, cirrhosis and, you know, cancer
Liver
and all
spot.
that. I was like, listen,
goodness.
man. I went to the reunion. I was like, you know, I'm gonna say bye to everybody right here. I can't keep flying back and forth every time one of y'all dies. You know,
Oh
it's that old
man.
it's that whole thing. What's the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish funeral? One less drunk, and that's a fact. That's a fact. So I said goodbye to everybody, and I didn't leave nothing when I left there, L.A. I got out of there. I went in the Air Force. I got out of the Boston area.
Well, I guess I flew into the Boston airport, so I really don't know any. And the rest of my time I spent on Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard, which is a really, really nice place.
Yeah, Buzzards Bay and out that. It's a very nice.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
So that's
Kennedys
all I
live
know
on it.
about Massachusetts.
Yeah, the Kennedys had a compound out there.
Yeah.
But then
And
you got Provincetown.
I
You
wasn't
know,
there.
these people. They have their own feather factory in Provincetown.
Well, I know one thing. The day I only spent one day on Martha's Vineyard because I was on a time limit, and I have never seen like market vegetables so perfect in my whole life. I mean, it's like I've never seen anything like that. And I mean, we're here in the South. We know how to grow vegetables, and we all have gardens, but it was just I don't know, that area, the Cape Cod area, all up and down in there, and I wanted to move there. Like, I was literally planning. I visited in 2018 and or 19, and I was literally planning to go until I found out how much it snowed. I'm like, no, this Southern girl is not, no snow.
Yeah, you can keep that snow. That snow's fun
Yeah.
until you're like 12 when you have to start shoveling it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
But yeah,
Same
Indy,
life.
I'm retired at LE in Florida. I wasn't law enforcement in Boston. I did work for the Red Sox. That was the last job I had in Boston. Uh-oh. Look who we got here.
Mayo.
Mayo with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Mayo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over this. All right, go ahead.
I got a PayPal too, sir, from one of your members. So take that.
All right, now, LA, I have not heard. LA, Ruckus, I need to ask you a question and release the documents. There are 3 different PCAs, and all 3 have information is clearly not included in each other. Does my question make sense? Yes, it does. There is more to that PCA. Trust me, there's more to it. There's going to be more of it released when they do whatever they got to do. Oh, wait a minute. Are you looking at your thing? Because I got a super chat from
Mayo sent you one.
Yo-Yo, 99 cents. I just got Mayo's.
Yeah, they'll give you one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing good. Look at you. They
Yeah.
want you to. They want to. They tired of seeing them liver spots. They trying to make sure you get that
Yeah.
surgery. You trying to make sure you get that liver spot surgery.
I know, LA, I know um, about what happened to you, but I don't know the circumstances. And I don't know if you can even talk about them. But LA's been shot a few times on duty, Silky.
Wow.
Hmm. And he ain't shot nobody. He's a piss poor shot. But he's been
Well, I
shot
told
more
you.
than
Well,
once.
when you zigging and zagging,
Yeah, you
that's the
can't
problem.
zag.
The zag is always get you. When you zig, you fine, but they always tell you to zag. The zag, they don't let you know that zag and get you hit.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
can
problem.
time the zag.
Yeah, they
They
time the
they
shit out
lead
that
you.
zag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
lead
lead
you
you
a
with
little
that fucking zag. Sons of bitches.
bit. But how many
Yeah, I'm
times
done.
have you been shot total? I know it was two incidences.
Yeah, so just once, and I was shot 4 times that one time. But I've been in a couple shootouts.
Let me get this super chat real quick, and then I want to go into that. Phil, thank you very much.
Phil,
$1.99.
I
Eagles.
think Phil giving you all the money because of me. You need to share half of that with me at least.
Yeah, come get it. I told you, come get it.
I ain't got no gas.
Oh yeah. Hey, let me hold $20 for gas.
You
I
know,
get my taxes. I get my
that's a
taxes next
fact.
week.
Now, Silky, if somebody ever say they gonna give you your money when they get their taxes, don't even expect it. Just cut them
No.
off because
No.
you know damn well that's a lie.
No.
I
Not
did
even on
say thank you.
payday. I'll pay you back on payday. Yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah, they don't even have a job.
Yeah.
Mm,
Got a super chat from Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. $5. I appreciate it. Now, so what were the circumstances
of the
um,
last one,
of both of them? I
well,
mean, I hate to hear it. Hello, Barbara. Because you're a
well, the
good
last
dude,
one
man.
is
I don't like to
the
hear
last
that.
one is still pending. So that's the one that got me out of here. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, you tired of being shot.
yeah, the last one is just
Jeez.
I was working overtime at a bar and people got mad, but that's still going on with the court case. So of course I can't talk too crazy about that one.
Hmm.
But the other one is just patrolling, just normal patrolling. That's when you find out doing a lot of work ain't necessarily good for your goddamn career as a
Yo-Yo
cop.
wants to know how to send you money. It's scrolling on the bottom of my channel here, right down the bottom. That's his Cash App.
I take naked pictures too, yo yo.
You nasty, man. I sent you one. You sent it back.
Yeah, because I saw only thing I seen was liver spots. I didn't know what I thought it was a cheetah. I thought it was National Geographics. I thought it was a goddamn cheetah running around here.
Leopard.
So yeah, why the hell he send me goddamn pictures of a leopard?
Thank you, Yo-Yo. 1999 super chat. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I might be able to eat now while I'm in Indiana.
Oh yeah. So I wanted to ask you. So are you prepared? How many pairs of underwear are you gonna take to Indiana? Now now we
Uh,
going now work with me with this one, be right? Because I got a problem. I think all men do. If I if I go for 3 days, I take about 10 pair of underwear, and I don't know why. Do you overpack underwear? Is that a guy thing?
yes.
Because
Yeah. And
yeah,
socks and underwear. I always pack too much.
yeah. Why do we do that?
You can't have too much. You can't have too much underwears. You don't know what's going to happen. You might get wet. Might be hot and sweaty.
Hmm.
Steve and I are going out in the woods too, man. There's ticks out there and all that. Nah.
Y'all better get some off with y'all old asses.
Dude,
You
I
better get.
I ain't wearing no shorts. No, sir. I'm wearing long pants the whole time. I don't mess around with snakes. At all, man. And people like, oh, because we had a big black snake, and I wouldn't go out the house till I knew where it was, till it was gone in the woods.
Oh my
And
god,
my
listen to
neighbor's
BB.
like, no, black snakes are good, and I was like, look, if a
Yeah.
snake's doing this, that's a bad one.
So you
That's a
racist
bad one.
against black
Ooh.
snakes? You don't like black snakes, sir?
No, I don't like any snakes, man. They just nasty. They
They ain't got no
nasty.
snakes. They got snakes in Florida.
Yeah, they got snakes in
I
Florida.
didn't know they had snakes in Florida, sir.
Yeah, all
Oh,
kinds of snakes.
No, well, you must like rats then, because snakes are good for keeping your mouse and rat population down. Now, I'm not a fan of And let me clarify, anybody who's watching this, because I did a show, I don't know, a month ago where I said, first of all, I've had pythons as pets. I don't have them right now,
Wow.
but I I skin and make jewelry out of like copperheads, rattlesnakes, water moccasins, but I will kill those kind because, if you can hurt me or my kids or my pets, then,
Mm.
that's it. But somebody started the rumor. I know, y'all.
You snake lady?
It's YouTube that I was skinning snakes alive. No,
Oh, no,
Oh,
no,
wow.
no.
no,
That would
I
be
do
hard
not
to
do
do,
that.
wouldn't it?
YouTube is
Yes,
crazy.
it is, and that's cruel. I'm like, look, I am not a cruel person. I do kill them first, so, but
I don't know if
it's
that make
like,
it any
yeah,
better,
Jinx,
but
$2 super sticker. Thank you, Jinx. I appreciate it. And Jinx is going to make me some biscuits and gravy while I'm out there.
yeah. See, I'm
mm,
jealous.
Yeah. I'm already fat. I'm going to come back fatter because we're going to see Purdue RN as well. And I hear that she's a fantastic cook as well.
okay, Grace. I
Wow.
didn't know. I thought it was just a guy thing. Guys always pack a million pair of underwears, no matter how slow the trip is. We always do it. It's crazy.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing laundry while I'm there. I'm here to tell you that. Ain't going to be no stuff. We really don't have time, to be honest with you. We got a full schedule. But, who's got time to be going to the laundromat and all that? So I always pack way too much socks and underwear.
How
You
many
can't go
days are you
wrong.
staying?
7.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why, dude, I don't know why you don't drive down. Just come over and see us for a day. What else you doing?
To Indiana?
Yeah.
I got to go to Africa first. I'll meet y'all there after I travel to
I,
Africa.
I, I think we're going to be in Chicago, at least for one day. You can come to Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I meet you in Chicago too. That's after I go to China. See, I got to take a route to China to Africa. Then I meet y'all where the fuck y'all at. You out your goddamn mind. Why would I go to Chicago or Indiana, sir? I'm in Philly, the home of the the crazy people. Why would I go somewhere else where other crazy people at? I'm
Yeah.
not
Well,
doing that.
all right. I'm just trying to I'm trying to give you some ups. You know what I mean? Get you traveling around. Be a worldly man.
No, I'm fine, sir. I'm
Yeah.
fine. I stay in
Okay.
my house.
Yeah, I bet you they got tons of snakes in Australia. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm
But I've
good.
been bit by snakes and all that. I don't like hornets, wasps, bees, none of that shit neither. None of that stuff.
I got stung by a bunch of wasps. That wasn't fun.
Yeah. But Silky, I have 2 Boston Terriers. We will never have a rat problem.
Oh,
Them
okay.
dogs scared of everything. No,
No,
the
man. The female, the little one, she got a squirrel. She caught the damn squirrel finally. They run out
Wow.
the door. I open up the door. They almost knock me down. They're little bitty asses, but they almost knock me down. And they leap at the trees. And they come close, but they never get them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Camilla,
see,
instead, I don't kill them. I don't kill the snakes. But if there's one over there, no, I ain't going. If the grass is tall, I'd be like, yo, you see that? What? There's a snake out there. I seen him look up. I ain't going in there.
yeah, I don't play with them at all.
No.
thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
You're
at
like
all.
my twang.
You
But,
do it.
you said your Boston Terrier. Now, I didn't know that your Boston Terrier would kill mice and rats. But, I mean,
Oh
I've got
yeah.
one cat. I've got one. My son has several. And so, yeah, I don't know if you've ever had cats, but they like to bring you presents. And they bring about at least one gopher or rat or mouse or something in per morning. It's like they're paying homage. So it's fun. You walk through the living room and there's a dead rodent of some kind.
Yeah, I'm not a cat person. I've never really been. The only thing I like about cats is you don't have to pat them. You just put your hand down there and they'll do figure eights around it. You ain't got to do
Yeah.
nothing.
I hear ya.
I've got a dog and a cat, so I mean I love both.
Mm. So just getting back on topic here for a second. The confinement area. Do you think that is appropriate place to have Richard Allen? And because you've been in that area that I'm talking about where they put the people that are on lockdown. Or
Yeah.
do you think they should have him in general populations? Because some people are saying he should be in general population.
No,
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 you can't
no
do it.
way should he
Mm.
be in Gen
You
Pop.
cannot
No.
do that.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
I don't understand what the problem is though. He's locked
I mean,
down. He's safe. I just
I
don't understand.
I think, really when I listen to people, even on my own channel, when they make comments, yeah, but he's not been convicted. Okay. I understand that he's innocent till proven guilty. I mean, for all I know, he's innocent. What I'm saying is there is nowhere for people like that to keep them safe. I want him to go to trial. I want him to be healthy. I
Hmm.
want I want, true evidence. I want to be convinced one way or another he is or isn't guilty. And, look, most of the people, and I think though that is the one thing in the county jail, it's not, we have, what you have in the county. You have people, the whole, run of the mill. You've got, not only do you have the pedophiles and the murderers and the gangbangers, but you also have people there who are FTAs for traffic tickets, non-payment of child support. Like,
Yeah.
you have a whole lot of people. But for Richard Allen in prison, and my understanding where they've got him segregated at is the worst of the worst. So
Hmm.
you are now talking about you're not going to be in a, behind the door or in PCA with somebody in there for FTAs.
Mm.
You're going to be there with people who have absolutely nothing to lose, usually no moral compass, and will they say and do anything? It's very likely. So that's where I'm like, I
Mm.
don't know. Um,
I got it.
if
Let me
you were
get this
just
super sticker real quick from Alice. Stepping up to the plate. $49.99. Thank you, Alice. I
Ooh,
appreciate it.
woo. We could buy a lot of drones with that.
I know,
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
liver cream.
yeah. I could buy liver cream now. I don't know how expensive. I might
Why?
have to get it on the black market. But
Why do people want him in general pop? I don't get that. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Mm-mm.
he's better off where he's at. He's safe. Now he's
But why
having
do you think
issues
people
and
want him there?
because they're listening to what his lawyers are saying. And
Mm.
His lawyers want him in. That's
no, his lawyers are
his
saying he's being mistreated.
Yeah, but
And
I'm saying, do they think he need to be in general population to not be mistreated? That seems like that's backwards.
no, hey,
No.
material girl. No, they want him. To be honest with you, my opinion is that they
I'm
want him
sorry.
closer to them. It's not as far of a drive. They want him right across the street in Cass County Jail. So that's where they want him. So it's convenient for them. And the judge said, no, we don't move people for convenience of attorneys.
Yeah, that's I've
Yeah.
never heard that before. Usually they bill per mile any goddamn way.
Hmm.
So why the hell do they care?
And now I know all three of us here, we believe in the judicial system,
Hmm.
and due process and all that. We know there's good people, bad people in law enforcement, in corrections, out in the world, you know. Um, so he's innocent still until proven guilty. Now, if everybody believed that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. They just put him in general population. But
Right.
unfortunately, that's not the way the world of prisons and jails work, folks. He
Hmm.
wouldn't last 2 minutes.
No, not
No.
Two
at all.
minutes.
No.
So, and he's getting good care. He's getting psychologists, psychiatrists, nurses, doctors. He's receiving care.
I mean, and I would say I feel like I really do. I feel like our jail is for jails, is really good. I really do think that people care. However, it's like I've said before, are there, like, can you go by the guidelines 100% and still find 100 ways to make somebody's life miserable? Yes, you sure can. You know,
Mm.
it can be all the treatment, and then, if he, hypothetically, if he is having a mental breakdown and he's not being taken or cared for correctly, maybe because of poor medical, or whatever. You always have those people that say, well, I don't care, he's a child, whatever,
Mm.
I don't care what happens to him. I mean, could it be? It's not impossible to think that he could, in some way, be mistreated. So I guess here's the thing: if they move him to Cass County and he doesn't get any better, or he gets worse, then I'm going to say it's him, not the jail system.
Mm.
I guess
I've
I'm
heard
a
a
little
lot of horror
confused.
stories about that prison, though. Go ahead,
I mean,
LA.
are
Yeah,
they
I have to.
what is their definition of mistreatment? Because even when you're in jail, I mean, you gotta have some humanity for people, but they're in jail. Like, it's only so much you're gonna do or can do. So are they saying because he's not eating? I mean, people go on hunger strikes all the time. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what's their definition of not being treated properly. I mean, what's their definition of that?
Well, they put a
I mean,
pretty graphic picture of him where there's a huge
mm-hmm.
difference from the day he got arrested until they took that picture.
Just a
But
weight loss.
but also LA, those he's on a special wing. So he gets special food, probably finger food, to be honest with you. If he's on a Q15, if he's on suicide watch. So the inmates know that he's getting it. They'll write his name on the styrofoam. Everybody on that wing, they write down the cell number and the name if they're on special diet or anything like that. Because in Florida, they do have special diets, Silky. For every religion, they'll get sued.
Wow.
Yeah, and they've been sued. So, but
Well, don't go to jail in Alabama.
yeah, you ain't getting,
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah,
Uh-uh.
yeah.
And don't go to jail in Philly because LA over there eating up all the graham crackers.
I'll tear them up. Alabama to get some of that raccoon soup. That's it. That's all they
There
gonna
you
get.
go. And
We
you're
ain't give
lucky
you
to get
nothing
it.
else. Yeah.
Now, what is a turtle suit?
It's what, it's that green, we call it a turtle suit. It's what you see what Brian Koberger was in initially when he got
Okay,
arrested. It has the Velcro, you can't tear it. And I don't know how other jails do it, but when you go in a turtle suit in our jail, you have no underwear, no nothing underneath
nothing,
there. You
right?
get no
Mm-hmm.
blanket, you get no nothing. Your turtle suit is the only thing between you and the world. And I know that sounds cruel, but usually you get that for because of self
Suicidal.
harm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. We call them
And I mean,
suicide quilts.
Yeah.
yeah, we
That's
just
what we
call
call
them
them.
turtle suits because they're quilted and they kind of look like little turtle shells. But yeah, and people don't understand.
Turtle.
Um,
I call
you
it.
know, if you leave someone's underwear on, the next thing you know, they're eating it. It's
Hang
stuffed down their throat. I mean,
or
it's
trying to hang
crazy.
yourself.
These inmates do things that you cannot fathom a
I've seen
human
it.
being to do, and you're like, my God, I don't even know how to keep you safe. Even you were talking about the helmet. I've seen people that beat their head against the glass, the door, the walls, and you put the helmet on them, and we had one and like just trying to get him to settle down until medicine kicked in, whatever. He's handcuffed, he's on the floor, he's got the head, and he bangs his head against the toilet until that thing
Mm-hmm.
comes off. So then he has to go in the cart. And you're
Yeah,
like, I'm not being cruel. I am literally trying to keep you alive.
yeah. That restraint chair.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't doing anything once they're in that chair. I've seen them still
Right.
bang their head where we had to strap their head to the chair as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I know.
But
It's
I've
it's
seen people come in on drugs and you've never seen them before. This one woman in particular, I'll never forget. She looked like a businesswoman. She had like a business skirt set on, with the jacket and all that. And she was, man, we had so much trouble with that woman. And the next day, she was mortified. She thinks somebody slipped her something in her drink
mm-hmm.
where she was out. But she was like yelling and screaming and flipping around. We had to put her in the restraint chair and put the screen over her head because she was spitting
Right.
at us.
Yeah, I've
Mm-hmm.
seen that before.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
We
you see
had
DUIs, they come in and they're total assholes. They want to fight with you, but the next morning
oh yeah.
they're like
They're like
this.
nothing
I am
happened.
so sorry, man. I apologize because
Yeah.
they're getting out ROR or whatever. And like, man, don't worry about it. This black eye will go away. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, and if they're coming down, but you have some people now with the drugs that are out there and the combinations. I mean, we had one guy walked in, the way our jail is set up, booking is on like the bottom basement floor, and then the main level where you come into the sheriff's office and do whatever the kiosk, whatever you're going to do in the office. This guy comes into the main sheriff's office lobby all wackadoodle trying to change his address. He's like, I'm here to change. I don't know where he thought he was, the post office, whatever. So, he's obviously out of his mind. So, of course, they send up some officers to bring him downstairs because they're afraid he's going to hurt himself or somebody else. Like, he was whacked out for, I don't know, over 24 hours. And we really didn't know what he got a hold of. But, you don't understand. The nicest people in the world can get a hold of something. As it
Yep.
turns out, he got something from the gas station. It was a bad combination, of stuff that shouldn't be legal but is at the gas station. So you have to protect yourself. It's dangerous.
Hmm.
He got some of that synthetic weed. That should always take people out.
That's
Yeah.
spice.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's that. I seen that dude. I've seen people turn into monsters with that. My goodness.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I was
Yeah.
asking. You get somebody that's on that stuff, you can't just go drop them off to jail. You got to take them to the hospital.
No, we
Booking would
don't.
turn them away. Yeah.
No, we take them.
Really?
Sometimes
Or
you
we
gotta beat
do.
people.
We do. We have to monitor them, check their blood pressure, make sure if you can. Sometimes you can't check their blood pressure because they're just, out there. But we monitor them and we have to watch them. And if they start spewing out either end or doing something like that, then we, treat them medically. But no, they don't go to the hospital. Mm-mm.
Yeah, we weren't doing that to our nursing staff. That's the way we looked at it in booking. They're already
Yeah.
busy enough. We're not going to put this on them either. Sorry, buddy. You're going to have to go sit on. And sometimes if we are staffed, we'd send a booking deputy to sit on them. So
Mm-hmm.
because the road guys are short too. God, you
Yeah.
LA, how many times you get on duty and you got like 5 calls holding already?
It's usually 25 to
Yeah.
30.
That's people have called 911, Silky. And nobody's been there yet. And you're just coming on shift and you got 25 calls already
And
Mm-hmm.
that you got
then
to
and
handle.
then or you got a hospital detail for somebody that's so dumb. I mean, somebody who got caught with a nickel bag, and then you telling them, listen, you're gonna get ROR, but they start having medical issues, and then they holding up the process even longer. It never fails.
We used to go to the hospital and fingerprint him, photograph him, and do his release paperwork and cut him loose right there at the hospital. And
Yeah,
Wow.
and,
yeah,
and all of a
yeah.
sudden they're better. They're better.
Oh, of course
Whatever
they
ailed
are.
them, yeah, whatever ailed
Of
them,
course
they're
they
good to
are.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yes,
it's
we don't
crazy.
do that. We just throw a mat down and say, "Move over, boys. You got another one in here."
Mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
we really don't let them loose. It has to be extreme, and I'm sure there's a difference, but the staffing, it sounds like it's the same problem everywhere. Yeah,
Mhm.
you don't have enough COs or deputies to go around to for all the things. So I think they do more of that, kind of criminal triage out in the field than they do once you get arrested and the deputy has brought you. You ain't going nowhere.
No, sir.
Mm-mm. No,
Not until a judge says you're going somewhere.
no, and you ain't even medically going anywhere unless you've got a limb hanging off. And then it's iffy. I'm
Yeah,
just
no.
teasing. But
If
it like you're not going anywhere. Sorry, we'll take care of you.
exactly. All right, we've been running about an hour and 20 minutes. I like to keep it around about an hour. I want to thank you both for coming on. This has been awesome talking with you guys, getting all the different perspectives, and especially getting people that usually send LA money sending me money. I've been enjoying that immensely.
Yo, yo, Cam, I can't believe you backstabbed me. You on this man's channel? I ain't see you in months. That's
Hey,
fine.
boo, hey, leave it alone,
And
man.
you
Uh-oh.
see,
She's
you see, he
my
stole
neighbor.
Silky. You see, he stole my line. I called women boo first, and all of a sudden, I got this old liver spot bastard saying the same thing all of a sudden.
I know why you mad. What you got the copyright on letters now,
That's a
words,
fact.
all
Yeah, I
that.
got
Yeah,
that R. I got that R on the back of it. You
you
know what
don't
that
got no
means?
I. You
I
got
got
no
that
I.
I on the back of it. Yeah, dude. I got that I.
I'm gonna give you the hard eye. That's what I'm gonna. You're gonna get the hard eye out of me.
That I.
Yeah. But I just want to thank you both again. I appreciate it. And let's do it again soon. I enjoyed talking to you guys. This time went by like nothing.
It really did. And I
Mm.
think I don't get to talk to people on YouTube that actually know what it's like to work in a jail. So I'm always having to explain myself and sounding like sounding horrible, but it's like I've said, if you don't like it, then, vote for
Don't go to
jail
jail.
reform, because this is what you got, guys. This is it.
Yeah. There's
We
no
definitely
good.
got to talk. We got to talk about jail reform next time. My goodness, people, I don't think they know what that means. Like they just hear these trigger words and terms. Like I don't
Hmm.
think they know. It's just not enough people for all this. That's
Right.
the main issue. Is not enough people for this, and I don't know where they think they're getting people from.
And we could build a
Yeah.
jail right next to the one you got now, and it'll be filled tomorrow.
That's
You
a
can't
fact.
Yeah.
outbuild it. You cannot outbuild it at all.
No.
But all right, guys, thanks again. We'll do this again soon. I mean, I had a blast.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. All you
Yeah. It's
guys
nice
out
to meet
there.
you, LA.
Oh yeah, it's you too, Silky. I just subscribed, so
Yeah.
Oh, you hadn't been subscribed to Silky? She's awesome,
no,
man. Well,
no. I
good.
just did
You're
it.
gonna enjoy watching her stuff. She gets some really good guests. But all you guys out there, thank you for all the super chats and donations. Anybody that gave LA money, I'm kicking you out of my
Thank you.
Discord. As
Thank you
soon as I
very
find
much.
out
I
who you are, I'll
appreciate it.
be booting you out of
Don't
my
worry about it.
Discord.
I don't snitch. I'm not a cop.
And you guys all have a good night. And I'll probably do one more live before I leave on Tuesday. But then me and Steve will probably do a live or two while we're actually out there in Indiana. But you guys
Oh.
have a great night. And don't take any wooden nickels, kids.
That's a fact.
Bye-bye.
My name is Ruckus. Thanks for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm 10-7.